Whoopsie doodle. Sorry about that. I was making tea. Time got away from me. Hi, hello, good evening. It's Adventure Tuesday, and that means it is time for an adventure. More specifically, God, the achievements in this game are so good. What am I doing? I am playing Scarlet Hollow tonight. That's what I'm doing. Let me just make sure things are going. There we go. Things are gone. Excellent. So, I guess a brief recap of Scarlet Hollow before we dive in. I took a bus to a place called Scarlet Hollow, which is an old mining town, for the funeral of my estranged aunt. I guess our family, our side is the estranged side, where we met Tabitha, our cousin, and kind of got introduced to the town a little bit, and we met up with a person whose name just not sticking in my brain right now. And we went, hey, and Rocket, just doing a quick recap of the game, because it's been a grip since. So we decided to go cryptid hunting with her, because I guess that's how you have fun at like the Appalachians. Wherein we actually did see some cryptids, and things went bad, and then we got back to town, and the spooks just got kind of worse, and then we went to bed, and that's a very, very brief rundown of what happened. So chapter 2 landed last week, I think. There we go. But yeah, that's where we are. So this is actually gonna work. There we go. Okay, let's turn down the good musics. We can make sure. There we go. Let's just double check our sound and stuff. Oh, music's like, oh, is that all down? That's weird. There we go. Okay. So, oh, no, not start. Load. So, you'll note the timestamps on these look a little weird, and that's because I currently have 2 runs going, and the first run, which was my Kenai Street Smart run, we ended up making a decision to save a dog instead of a man, and then in the second run, when I could talk to animals, we didn't save the dog, and that just didn't feel right to me. So I literally rewatched both of these playthroughs and made all the same decisions except for where I had to switch, so that in the Kenai one, the dog no longer lives, and that in the other run, the dog will once again live, because it just felt more thematically appropriate for those runs. So here we are. Any hoots, on to chapter 2. Yep. You open your eyes. God, I don't know when I'm going to be able to eat cookies. I got myself some cookies. This is a very talk-heavy game. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window in the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember the sight of the pale faces jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. Gretchen was the dog. A knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Corey? Oh, hey, Tabby. There's a fresh pot of coffee on if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. Might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. Alright. Saunter at half-clothed does not seem our thing. Let's finish getting dressed. You calmly collect yourself while Tabitha fumes outside your door. Are you sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week or all weeks. You should let yourself... I'm fine, thanks. Corey, I know you're in there. What the hell, or where the hell are you hiding? I'll walk out. Now sufficiently prepared to greet other civilized humans, you open the door and join them in the living area. Martin, how'd you sleep? What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up to the woods to film a video. Never mind, I don't actually want to know. What I do want to know is why on earth you decided to blow me off to spend the night with a stranger. Hey, don't be so hard on Corey. I asked him to crash here. And last night was a lot, Tabby. There's something horrible in the woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Corey waking up in that mountain, or walking up into that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. Why are you bossing her around? Like, yeah, sorry, this is her home. You don't need to be an asshole. I get you're pissed. That's fair. Understandable. That was probably extremely loud in the mic, and I apologize. Come on, Tabby. No berating guests on the Richmond household. Whatever, I don't really care if you're here for this. You've been in town for less than a day, and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Still got you all worked up, and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever, that checks out. But I don't care if the woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. You know what? Yeah, Tabitha, you ran off as soon as I got there. Don't expect me to respect your time if you can't respect mine. There's a difference between my duties and your impulses. Don't do anything reckless while I'm at work. See you back at the estate tonight. Okay. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? You're relentless. We'll see, but don't get your hopes up. God, Tabitha. Hey, you good? Sorry about Tabby, she totally blindsided me. There's nothing you could have done to stop her. Yeah, probably. How are you holding up now? Though, that was rough. I don't regret anything, but you're right. That sucked. It's not like I didn't let her know where I was. Last night was a lot. I don't think anyone can blame me for crashing here. Tabby just doesn't get what we went through. Who would, honestly? And for the record, I'm happy you stayed too. Anyways, sorry for that rude awakening. I've been up for a little while, but was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. But you're up now. We've got a full day ahead of us if we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's see. Now, I want to know why you're so chipper. You shouldn't be okay right now. Am I coming off as chipper? Yikes. I guess I'm just too used to compartmentalizing things. That's a mood. It's not exactly the first time I've had to deal with something like this. And as long as I don't think about it, I'll be okay. I just have to wall off those bad feelings. Healthy. Thankfully, we have something important to focus on right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep leaning into this. You really shouldn't just bury that. I appreciate what you're trying to do here, really, but right now I just can't let myself think about the past. You need to stay focused. Alright. Tell me about Wayne. Mood? Indeed. Yeah, rip dog. Yeah, in this timeline, the dog did not make it. In the original timeline, it did, but we had a unifying event. So, the dog does not live in this particular reality. I want to check out the mines at some point today. Maybe some of the miners there can tell us about Wayne. He scared the bejesus out of me last night. Definitely. Kanika's waiting for us at the library, so we should head over there first. But unless we can find something solid on Ditchlings there, the mines seem to be the strongest lead we've got. Oh, let me set up a goop trap. A group chat. What's your number? Change numbers. Yes. Alright. Anyways, daylight's burning. Sun's going down. So let's roll out as soon as you finish getting dressed. Ah, I don't need to eat. Let's roll. The walk to town is short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. Last night being, March, for anyone keeping track. You see that building, malleable town hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the town hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. That and our mayor's really into going for walks. Oh, hey! More Stella, same to you, Corey. Speak the devil. We were just talking about you. Crumb from Stella's, huh? Did y'all have a slumber party? Aw, she blush. Sorry y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop to chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Nah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay. Oh, she always has time to chat. And I don't think I've ever seen her without Gretchen. Is she feeling okay? Oh, Stella and Corey just got up to a bit of trouble last night, that's all. You can't just drop something like that and leave me hanging. What happened, Corey? Let's go with the it's not a lie, necessarily. We did get some really good footage. There's just more to that sentence that we're not saying. We just got some really good footage, that's all. Now that is juicy. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try and calm your nerves. It's chaga and lemon balm. It does wonders to relieve stress and tension. And if you want to spill the beans about what happened, I'm all ears. We got up to some cult and time travel nonsense. No, the time travel's just me. And I wouldn't really call it a cult. Just your everyday usual supernatural. Alright, here. What a good achievement. Alright, then keep your secrets. Weird monsters are not a cult? I don't think so. I think a cult requires like demons. Like I think a cult is like a subsection of the monster world. I could be wrong. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. It's not so much private as who the fuck's gonna believe everything that just happened last night. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night. A cult to be spooky stuff? There's probably an official definition of what sits in a cult. I always thought a cult to be related to, like, organized. More of an organized kind of thing. So, like, witches and demons, I think, would qualify as that. Ghosts, I don't think is occult. I think that's more paranormal. Weird forest monsters are, I mean, that's cryptid, so I guess that falls into paranormal. Or possibly supernatural. But, like, yeah, witches and demons and stuff like that is usually, like, occult stuff to me usually has, like, ritual involved. I better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you're holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. What aren't you telling us? You're awfully relaxed given everything you told us last night. I've shared what I know about the Ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. So sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Google noun, supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena. Huh. Well, alright. There you go. Alright, so where do we want to go here? Go down there, talk to Avery, go to general store, meet new people. Let's go diner. Hey, I hope I still have my my boiled nuts. Like, a lot of occult nonsense is pretty loose and vaguely defined. Fair. Let's get some food. In the other run, we'll do the diner. The diner's a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Warn the patrons of danger. That seems like a bad... No, we're not doing that. Coffee date? Hot damn. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Hot damn. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound pen makes? Jesus. Wait. Pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to guess that? I don't know why I even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku. That's a terrible clue. Depends how esoteric you want to be, I guess. Also, I like these pictures in the back. They're still, like, low definition. Alright, I'll be done my cookie in a second. Oh. That's the last one. It's always the last one, so dry. Ugh. There we go. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, what the hell happened last night? You can tell me, I won't judge. Hell yeah. We now have flirting options. Though I don't really want to flirt with Avery. I dig it. The whole look and everything, it's very good. But, not doing it for me, Avery. Sorry. Maybe in another reality. I want to try the tea first. You hesitate to take a sip of your tea. It tastes like you're drinking mold that someone tried to unsuccessfully spruce up with lemon balm. I'm gonna put it down and never pick it back up. You politely put the tea back down, never intend to pick it back up, but nobody needs to know that. I probably should have warned you about that tea. Chaga does not mess around. It's a fungus harvested from local birch trees. It's supposed to be super healthy for you, and it sure tastes like it. It's a challenging drink. That's a horrifying description, and yet visceral. I can envision that. Okay, what if you don't believe me? I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge, I'm here to listen. Alright. Let her rip, bud. You spill the beans, glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. You asked for it, Avery. Oh, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I can't believe Gretchen's really gone. It seemed like that dog was gonna live forever. And monsters in the woods? I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happen around these parts. Can't say I like the thought of it. Okay, hold on though, Avery. What if you did? Like, of course you don't like the thought of it. The alternative to that sentence is madness. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte. Gosh, 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more, I've lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. Oh, hell yeah, keen eye. Maybe you're more at home here than you think. Stella really talked up your party yesterday. I don't think she'd have done that if she didn't think you were really part of the town. Could be that you're getting in your head about fitting in. Hey, you know, thanks. I hadn't actually thought about it like that. Why'd you leave? Nah, that's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. I liked the aunt just silently looking. Women I haven't heard about. She offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history. You got everyone here? See, there it is again. I don't think I have a choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. Alright. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Aw, man, looks like my shift's starting. Hopefully the Chagas had a chance to start working his magic. The diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Hooray! Ear to the ground. Fantastic. Hold on a second. Alright. Wonder what the magic that is that he's referring to. I don't know. Are you about to have a trip? Oh god, I hope not. Leave the diner ready to continue your day. Alright. To the library. Ooh, I can do both. Hot diggity damn. To the general store. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. Authentic rocks. Assorted minerals. Pulled from the Scarlet Mine. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Lemon stripes. God damn, yes. Easily one of the best snacks to ever exist. Snackin' morsels. Bogwitch brownies. Boo nuts. Choco nuts. Sorry, I always love seeing like the little details that artists put into their stuff. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Yes! The boiled peanuts continues. The young man now looks up at your now quite pungent bag of peanuts, curls his lips in disgust, and returns to his phone. Alright. If I want to buy something here, do I talk to you, or... He sighs. I guess, yeah. Kanika decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had don't matter. Just take the chips, I don't care. Cool. I'm gonna pay for them. I insist. I'm not ringing you up, take them or leave them. Wouldn't that be stealing? If Kanika cares about running this place right, she can hire someone else and let me live my life. Okay. She inherited the store. I don't want to keep getting suckered into working here just because I'm her brother. We make the most of our money on bulk orders anyways. Bag of chips doesn't make a difference. Alright. I'm not gonna steal. Have your way. Okay. What you doing? Games. You probably haven't heard of them. He said, flipping his emo hair. Some chick just walked into my store and tried to give me rotten peanuts. What? Am I a girl? I actually don't remember. Legitimately, I don't remember what I picked. It doesn't matter. That has no effect on the game, but I don't remember. Okay, hi. Hi, I'm Corey. I just got to town yesterday. Yeah, I know, Mom told me. What's your name? Miles. Okay, bye, Miles. Cool talk. Alright, to the library. You just assumed based on the flirting option. Well, as I recall, Avery is a non-binary character. So they're even if you're using the flirt option, it wouldn't really math out too much anyways. But I'm pretty sure you can just flirt with anyone in this game, because I don't think it actually matters. Like the gender you pick, I don't think plays into any actual decisions. It's just for, character building. So I'm pretty sure everyone's on the table, figuratively. Alright, that's a really fucked up mural. All the man out on a giant iron bar. Alright. More like under the table. Well, I mean, on the table, under the table, in the vicinity of the table. Yeah, it's, whatever, however the mood moves you, I guess. Okay, we're in the town hall. What must have once been a stately foyer has been since converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh, hey, you made it. I like how you can shush her and point at all the books. No, I'll just go over there. How come I can't pet this cat? I see you. See you, kitty. Hell yeah, scones. Glad you found the place. Kinda hard. Okay. Hey, Corey. You look tired. Yeah, let's just go with the hard to fall asleep. I'm not ratting Miles out. I'm not a narc. Yeah, it was pretty hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Oh, look at you. Look at that beard. That's a good beard. Hey there, strangers. And a literal stranger. Yep, this is the voice I'm going with. Everyone get used to the librarian voice, because here we are. Oh, God. Well, I can call you on these voices, but what? I don't know. Listen, I looked at the man, and that's the voice that came out. So there we are, okay? Peanuts? You extend your bag of peanuts to the librarian in a gesture of friendship and good faith. I still maintain, if the peanuts do not actually operate as the solution to a puzzle in this game, I'm gonna be so angry. I don't know what to say. Is this a gift? Oh, I'm allergic to peanuts. Not serious allergic, but they give me a rash. Oh, Oscar. This is Corey, Tabby's cousin. Oh, you should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. You're gonna feed the nuts to a monster and kill them? Yes. That Scarlet resemblance is, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, okay. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, chief librarian and, well, only librarian. Oscar's amazing. You practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had were a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind, but speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she didn't come home last night, and I wanted to make sure she didn't get into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs out with. Literally, we don't. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the Maxwell place? This is a great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. Can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. Street smart! Kids are smarter than you think. She can take care of herself. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on in the woods. Is actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of the creatures called Ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and we're a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Also, Pokemon Freak, like, you gotta know that his voice is, like, weirdly close to a very specific D&D character. Or not D&D, but whatever. Some fantasy piloted character. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on in the woods. Okay. I don't believe in supernatural stuff, but the woods aren't safe. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm glad that everyone has, like, good smartphones. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting in trouble. I'll make sure to keep her eyes peeled. Thanks, Kanika. I don't think you have any worry. Terrible calamity befalling the town's a great place to join. Yeah. I mean, it's appropriately theatrical. Hey, you know, how's it going? What could possibly go wrong in a coal mining town? Indeed. Little did we know, indeed. Hey, Corey, if you see a 13-year-old girl with black braid and black glasses, would you kind of let her know that her dad's worried about her? Sure, I'll just go and approach a 13-year-old girl that doesn't know me and tell me that her dad is worried and should go home. That'll be fine. But write a final. It's just, what did you learn as an exam? Easy enough? Well, I mean, good luck nonetheless. I hope you don't have a weird brain fart or something. Crush that final, you know. Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of books from local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls out a chair. Alright. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. It's going to be so much faster with the two of you to help out. I'll be doing most of my research online. You never know what kind of weird biases folks writing these books might have. I mean, she's not wrong. Whatever you find online might be biased too, you know. Which is why we cross-reference things. Yeah, you're right. It's good to cast a wide net. Guess the books are up to me and Corey. Reading awaits. Oh, which book? I mean, Appalachian Folk Monsters is like right there, but I do want to learn about the other stuff. Alright, let's go. Let's learn about the mines. Forced into retirement at the age of 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as captain in the Confederacy, Silius Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to the bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Oh, good. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, an elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1889, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the death of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. This voice suddenly feels a bit inappropriate. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's eldest son, Theodore, who had taken over for his aging father during the bustle of the war. His brother, Enoch V. Scarlet, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. Alright, so cool. That's good history. Let's learn about Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman, leader. Doesn't sound biased at all. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. The land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin, built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children, who we're not going to name because that would be a lot of names. Late title drop? How so? The logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Okay, so Silas seems like kind of a shit, huh? Thus, he had all the resources to fund Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. Okay. Alright, Appalachian folk monsters. A few entries catch your eye. Alright. Ooh, Tailipoo! I actually know about Tailipoo. Wait. Is Tailipoo something that was actually linked in my Discord at some point? An industrialist being an asshole? Say it ain't so. Yeah? Okay, cool. So we can relearn about the Tailipoo. I forget the context. I kind of remember the story, but basically this creature wanted its tail back or something like that. And like killed this guy's dogs, and anyway, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, right. I'm sure I could search the Discord if I cared enough. Wampus Cat. Alright. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus Cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. That's a hell of a setup for a story. She hunted it down and, by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of the region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wild cat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt, and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. That's a hell of a punishment, good grief. Her calls are those of great sadness, and serve as a warning to anybody who dares to go against tradition. Hey guys, anyone else see the cat pelt watching us? Hey, is that Kathy underneath that pelt? Tommyknockers, enigmatic cave-dwelling creatures primarily known for causing mischief. Okay, so the Appalachian cryptids have the best names. Tommy knockers originated in Cornish mythology. Spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in the Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls of a cave-in, or before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the sports of mines and collapse them on whoever's unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun beings, but some claim they are spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Okay. Oh, here we go. This might literally be the story from the wiki. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he had drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick, and ran back through its hidey hole and out of the sight, leaving only his long black tail, shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this will have to do," he said to his dog, and threw the tail in the pot to cook a soup. He and the dog ate well that night, the tail filling both of them up. The hunter crawled into bed satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood, his dog nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been. In the gloom, he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my taily-poo," a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away!" he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. "I want my taily-poo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear, but there was no dog to be seen. "I want my taily-poo." Before the hunter could do so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, and his dog, and his cabin, was a chimney, standing alone in the woods. Can I just say, doing that, like, old-timey radio voice, and then having to do other like, characters that are different but in that voice was a fun exercise. How does anyone know this? Shut up. Don't ask questions like that. Alright, let's check in. Alright, if we're gonna go with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can roll any natural disasters as what brought the Ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Yes! Handsome black cat. Leap to table. Hey, Pixel. Yes, 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 yes. Won't want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything other than him. Why do you let a paper shredder wander the library? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? Alright. Coward. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if you all need anything. Any luck with Rosalina? Not yet. I knew a team would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check in on your usual haunts. There's so much to talk about. Okay, what was that about nuclear power? You were talking about the Goldsboro thing, right? Yeah, apparently the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up in midair and dropped a couple of bombs. A fascinating bit of history there. The first two of the two bombs landed upright after a parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch, which failed to trigger on the on the descent. Oh god. I lost my voice for that one, but oh boy. And 6 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. Right, its conventional explosive disintegrated midair, but most of the nuclear material was made unrecoverable by flooding. 30% sure that's not how it works. Old bombs were actually, like, pressure gauge switches. Like, most of them had an altimeter that would set off once they hit a certain height. Now they're programmed, but before, you literally had to, like, set the height on them. They needed to be armed? I don't know how true that is of the old-ass ones. I know they had to be set, like, their explosion, their, reaction height. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. Okay. What I don't know is if it would have been armed flying over the US. Absolutely not. Also, Goldsboro is almost 400 miles from here. I think we're good. Just saying. Never know with radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters. A 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. Alright. I've missed this. Okay. Is there a cult? Uh-huh. The whole vibe of the town is off and it feels like folks are hiding something. Or maybe people here just aren't used to strangers. Or maybe you're part of it, Kanika. Alright. Also, just think about that place. Think about being in a place like that. I feel for you guys who worked up there. I can never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse. Ladies. What happened? The book just kind of glosses over it. There was a union for a little... nope, that's the wrong voice. That's not you. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's a whole lot written about it the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. It's a coal mine! Of course it isn't. No offense or anything, I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did. Still doesn't let the union in, though. Jesus. There's a reason her and I don't talk. Alright. Union busting mine collapse from poor working conditions? Color me shocked. Indeed. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what the sculpture in front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Ah, that makes it all better. Every kid in Scarlet Hall learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You know, that could be what the Ditchlings warned us about, another collapse. Writing it down? Okay. It's morbid, and besides, it's all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now, and there's no way he could get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. You would be surprised. Y'all don't think the mine's actually gonna collapse, right? No. Whew, had me worried for a second. I hate to give Tabby any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. Okay, so what's your beef with Charles Shaw, other than he was obviously a piece of shit? The gig economy hasn't come to Scarlet Hollow. Oh, I laugh, but that's just, that's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People tend to spit when they hear your name. You got run out of town on a rail, you know. Oh, that's what the picture is. He sold cheap wine. That's not a figure of speech. Back then they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural. Yeah, okay. Got off easy, if you ask me. These are all good. I don't think it's another collapse. Ditchlings, they don't come from the mines. The mines seem important because the whole town's built around them, or Wayne seems sick. Wayne does seem like an angle we should look into. I'm gonna go with that. The creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called Corey out by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe there's some sort of parasite down in the mines. Maybe it infected Wayne, and maybe Wayne's infected the local wildlife. Okay. Okay, let's talk about Celia Scarlet. What a revisionist biography. Lord glosses over all the war crimes to paint a picture of a self-made man. It's a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources of research instead of trusting the first thing you read on the subject. Thank you, Oscar. You're not doing a lot of sorting, bud. Why don't you just pull up a chair? Yep, dude was a monster. Sorry you're related to him. I don't know how he's relevant. I agree, we're talking about ancient history here. Yeah. Never hurts to have a historical context. God damn it, Oscar. Pull up a chair or shut up. Okay. Appalachian folk monsters. All these stories are about revenge. That's true. I don't know so much about the Tommyknockers. Keep line comment explained in Discord. Let's have a quick look. $2 Chuck. Ah. Charles Shaw wine. Woo! Alright, that's fun. Alright. Sure, let's go with the keen eye option. Guess it's a popular subject for myths and urban legends. Yeah, so, I mean, that is actually a very common theme. Especially, like, kid stories are usually follow the rules or you'll get eaten or murdered. And then adult ones were, I mean, a lot the same of, like, more or less, like, talk shit and find out. More or less. Right? Like, do dumb shit, get wrecked. Wampus Cat sounds like mountain lions. Yeah, definitely. Those are 100% mountain lions. You know there are no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. It's true. Almost every cryptid can be tracked to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank. Then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out, and now here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real and literally eat it, I promise. I'm holding you to it. There was literally a mountain lion in the Ditchlings' nest last night. Wait, was there? Someone go review the tapes! Maybe it was a bobcat. They can get pretty big. Okay. With the whole warning thing. It's a good thought, but Tommyknockers live in the mines. That's like their whole thing. I can write it down, though. Tommyknockers are literally just the sounds that happen when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse. I mean, yeah. Are they? Or are they sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks as support beams? Simply no way to know. Alright. So what about Talipo? Or Talipo? Talipoo? I think it's Talipo. I can't believe I forgot that one. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach. I love that one. There's an old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Talipo. The one that was left after the things, whatever it did. Now I know it's just because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do. Man, what a bummer. You exchange soup for nuts? No, the nuts and me are going to the distance. I'm telling you, those boiled nuts are going to save the day somehow. That doesn't mean it's not a chimney from Talipo. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I've watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days chasing wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. Eh. So, where do we want to go? I mean, what do y'all think? A lot of mind-related stuff in my notes. Maybe that should be our next stop. Poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you suggest we go question some of the miners, right? We're not poking around up here in the actual mines, right? Right? Sure. She said lying through her teeth. Okay, you know how I feel about mines? That's like a weirdly specific thing. Like, you know how I feel about mines just as a concept, as a general rule. You know, mines. Ugh. Promise, Neegs, we're just gonna question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say, a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm not going underground. Okay. And maybe we can find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it. Maybe Tabitha can help us out. I feel like the way I've been playing my character, this is how I would respond. No, I don't think she'd be super jazzed to see any of us snooping around the mines. I can't imagine she'd do if she actually bothered her while she was trying to run the place. She does get a little grumpy when she's at work. She's grumpier at work. Pretty sure snark is that girl's baseline level of existence. Chatting over dinner might be a better way to get to know her. We're okay with eating boxed mac and cheese. Okay. I've been so wrapped up running the store, didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though there is something missing. Reese. Oh good, do we get to meet the Reese now? I really miss that dude. Can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? No, I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad, poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Corey. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Yeah! Let's do it! Alright, let's see if we can see your daughter. Thanks, guys. Keep you posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too. Hey, can I just say, like, Kanika has fashion? Just fashion. Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We're wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Wow. We're all adults, right? Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten a chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Corey could get along super well too. Okay. I'm just gonna skip the lie and go to... change the subject. Also, can I just say I love how doe-eyed she is right now? I know who you are. Alright. His mom turns back to the house, sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. She sighs again, as if deciding whether to finish her thought. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise that he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see the two of you again. I suppose you can come too, Corey. Okay. That'd be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No. Eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay. Fine, you can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Jesus Christ. Dr. Kelly, you're a lot of fun at parties, huh? Leave the dog at home. Yep. Oof. Oof. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering now. See you later. Alright. Wait, what? Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. That's odd, right? God, that woman makes me nervous. You okay, Stella? Yeah, I'm fine. Remember, she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get her shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You can drive? Yeah, sorry, I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Okay. I'll take my shortcut then. Shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Corey. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Oh no. Do I want to pry about cars? No, that seems rude. Oh god, what do we do? Do you ride in the car and get to learn more about Kanika, or walk in the woods and who knows? With Stella. Pry, pry, pry? Alright, I'll pry. It's actually with you in cars. The mines have got to be a ways off, right? Don't worry about it, Corey. There's a lot of junk in the back of my van. It gets a little tight with more than two people. Alright. No prying then. Go with Kanika? Kanika it is. Alright. If you know what I'm saying. Kanika's a careful driver, but her old van still bumps around the mountain roads. I love the keychain detail there. It's hard to see, but I kind of like it. Thanks for indulging us on that little diversion. Reese's mom is scary. I don't think either Stella or I have seen the guy outside his house for years. I've seen him in person maybe 5 or 6 times in as many years. And that was always in his house, and with his mom right there the whole time. No one even knows what he's sick with. That sort of isolation can't be good for his health, no matter what his mom says. Ah, yeah. Keen eye and street smart. So, is Cars the Batman trigger for her? How'd you figure that out? I mean, for starters, she tried to refuse a ride back to town after we made it out of the woods. It wasn't the sort of thing you don't notice. I know this isn't the most expensive town in the world, but Stella has a full-sized house on her own. As a YouTuber, I saw some of the pictures there too. It's a family home, but her family's not around. She's only ever talked about them in the past tense. You were pretty quick to change the subject when asked about it earlier too. I don't know, just made sense. Damn, that's pretty impressive. Not a lot gets past you, huh? As a YouTuber? Well, yeah, no, you have to be... Listen, you know, in the pie chart of YouTuber, there's a very small sliver of can afford a home with what I do. The rest of them don't. The rest of them have other jobs. She was in the car too, just some cuts and bruises, but she doesn't like cars and tries the best to stay away from them. I don't think he's ever going to actually leave this town. She's seen someone? Like a therapist? Good luck finding a therapist within walking distance of Scarlet Hollow. Fair. Twitch might be a better bet. Also probably not true. Really, you actually want to look at the TikTok influencers. That's where all the money is right now. Which is a fucking awful thing to say out loud, but there it is. I don't think that's something Stella would go for anyway. She likes to solve her own problems. Okay. Yeah, look at all these explorers. Hot diggity damn. Okay, so what's going on with Reese? Good question. I wish I knew. His mom's been saying he's sick for years, and it's not like she's wrong. He's been a wreck the few times I've seen him. I just find it a little weird that his mom hasn't brought any outside doctors. At least not any that I'm aware of. I mean, she's a doctor, but your kid's been housebound for this many years. You think it'd be, it was something you'd put a lot more effort into fixing? I don't know, probably just projecting or something. Ugh, it's rough. Yep. I know a number of Twitch streamers who are full-time jobs from it, and several of them have bought houses, but yeah, it takes a lot. Yeah, no, yeah, so that's kind of, for every new kind of platform, content platform, there's always like a kind of a gold rush kind of situation to it, right? So when YouTube came out, there was a group of people who kind of forged their way and became big names in YouTube. But now everyone can be on YouTube, and so like the pool it's a sea. It's not a pool, it's a fucking planet of water. And then something like Twitch comes out, right? And so a whole bunch of people rush to Twitch to like start streaming and like get to make content there. And the early people, a lot of them hit it big, and then again, more people flood in, and you have a new sea, right? And it's not that you can't still make it big on platforms like that. Like, people can absolutely start and maintain successful YouTube channels, Twitch channels, etc., etc., etc. But it's harder to get noticed, right? Like, that's just the reality of it. I mean, I stream, and I have, like, 1 or 2 viewers most nights, and that's fine. I'm not putting forth the effort, right? I'm not chasing it. But that's because I'm aware of how difficult it is to actually do that. Like, the hustle required to really make it as a streamer or just a content creator is a lot, right? Like, you have to actually cross-advertise on every possible platform. You have to, a lot of times, either be chasing what is new or picking something that you know you can excel at, right? So, like, being really good at Minecraft builds, or goddamn good at Apex or Valorant or whatever, right? So either you specialize and become exceptionally good at something, or you have to continue chasing stuff, and then that's not even working in personalities. So, you know, you've got the different kind of overarching personalities of people who stream. I don't know how much advertising matters. Oh, it matters. Putting, like, especially right now, ask Enrocket if he shows back up. Ask him about how much traction he's been getting with TikTok. Everyone I follow him through word of mouth. You're not wrong. That's part of it, right? But you have to get those first people, and you have to make solid content and have a good schedule. Like, I do all the fundamentals well, but I know I'm never going to make it big. That's just, that ain't going to happen. And yeah, like, 250 viewers per is kind of where you start to get good, solid, stable income. So it's just like, it's just not going to happen for me. Especially not with the stuff I play. And that's fine. But, yeah. So, them throwing that comment out there of, like, as a YouTuber, like, yeah. Nowadays, yeah. Right? Sorry, I'm just catching up here. It helps if you're hot and have whales. I mean, that's definitely an angle, right? Like, yeah, if you can, if you choose or want to exploit your good looks, yeah, that's a way to make money. I'm not going to fault anybody for leveraging that. It's the internet. It's full of people who will pay, right? Someone was talking the other day about how playing MTG is her thing that makes money. and burning out on trying a variety is bad for money. Yep. The regular's always there, see what she's playing. Yes. So I actually follow a couple streamers that have been doing it for a while, and some that are newer. Danatash is an example of a streamer who's been around a long time, who it is basically his full-time gig, but he's not super huge. And he does variety stuff, but he still kind of tries to figure out what's popular to play and what have you. And there's some like Sir Jagger, who generally does a lot more specialist stuff. Like, he does a lot of Minecraft. But even he gets burnt out on Minecraft and has to switch games every once in a while. And when he does that, his viewership suffers. And that's the problem when you become a content creator. You kind of live and die by the numbers, and that is not for everyone. And I think a lot of people who get into thinking like, I'm gonna be the next big streamer guy, boy, don't know what they're getting into, right? So anyways, that was kind of a diatribe. If she keeps around 500 plus and growing variety is more like 150, 200. Yep. You wish you were the next big streamer guy, boy? Hey, Punk Freak, like, just get that hustle. I like doing streaming because it lets me play games I want to play. It lets me interact with people and talk about, like, the things that I'm doing. And I enjoy that. I never got into this looking to make it big, and so I have a lot less of those stresses on me. But yeah, like, the people who do it for a living. The internet's fickle, man. Try being a VTuber. Yeah, I actually know. I know someone who does that now. Taser generally VTubes. At this point. But, yeah, it's tough, bud. It's tough. Anyways. Back to the spooky game that hasn't gotten spooky yet. Do I want to ask about her brother? What's up with your brother? Did he do anything weird, did he? You know, he was fine. I was just curious. That's good to hear. Sorry to jump conclusions. I know you don't have any siblings, but I just wish you'd grow up, you know? Feels like you can't trust him to do anything without leaving a mess for me to clean up. Don't get me wrong, he's family and I love the guy, but he sure doesn't make it easy. Yeah. Oof. Ever thought about living somewhere else? Yeah, this wasn't the plan and still isn't. I was actually a couple years into vet school, top of my class, might I add, when my dad died. My mom wasn't up for running the store, and, well, you've met Miles. I only wanted to take a semester off, help him to get back on their feet, but it's been a year and changed now. It's not just about my family, too. The general store? That's the general store. If it winds up going under, it's hard not to imagine the whole town collapsing with it. Jesus. Maybe I'll get to go back next semester. Jesus. Oh, there's so many ways to respond to this. Or streamer shop talk. I don't think I'm the right person for it. Like, yeah, I'm a streamer. I do streaming. But I don't think I'm a person to be able to talk shop. I'm happy to listen to people talk shop about it that I know what they're talking about, but... Just like Stella's mom. That seems option. Yeah. You know, I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess you're right. You know what? Let's just be positive. You'd be a great vet. Seeing how thorough you are about research, and not everyone would care enough about their family to take time off like you did. Aw, shucks. I was really into biology during undergrad, and growing up around Stella and her mom gave me a special kind of love for animals. Any other theories? I don't know. I don't think there's enough information to support any strong conclusions, though I've been wondering if what you two saw may be some sort of mutated animal, like a strain of hairless monkeys or raccoons or something. You know about Morgan Island? It's off the coast of South Carolina, and there's a whole population of rhesus monkeys infected with herpes. Like 4,000 of them. What? Is that a thing? It sounds ridiculous now that I've said it aloud. Forget I said anything. Oh, they were not monkeys. I saw it with my own eyes, and they were way too messed up to be anything like monkeys. I mean, that doesn't rule out lab monkeys, right? Could be whatever made them hairless also caused weird swellings or altered their proportions. Alright. Well, like I said, we don't have near enough information. Alright. Drive me out of town. I am no coward. How dare. Cell's probably going to be another couple minutes. I just like the boop in on the side. How's the ride? Did you run here? Yep, felt like getting run in. I didn't want to keep you all waiting. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you? Nope. That makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan? You just go talk to the people. Okay. I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Tabitha? Yeah, I might have tried sneaking in here one time or two too many. We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. Street smart! Call dibs! Hell yeah! You're gonna do great. Probably not. So, the plan. You know those cheesy old rom-coms where somebody wears an earpiece on their first date? Whoa, do you have some kind of surveillance set up in the back of your van? What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We could just do a group call. Yeah, the phone won't work in the mines. I've been in mines. They stop working like 15 feet in. It turns out a bunch of solid rock does a real... Oh, thanks, Eno.
Why not?
A bunch of solid rock is really good at blocking radio waves. Weirdly enough. Thank you for the 140 biddies there, Much appreciated. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and still can give you a heads up tab at the center of our way. Mortgage paid for this month. Yep. I've missed doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Ah, shucks. I guess we should part ways and start the call, huh? Okay. I can't wait to run into Tabitha. Hey. Can you hear us? Try saying something. Okay, here, sorry. Very funny. You're coming through crystal clear on my end. How actually bad is this audio? When I'm doing this to represent the phone call, how bad is this? Hydrate. Pretty bad? Alright. What was that, Bane? Oh, if you want my Bane voice. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded. I don't need a face covering to do a Bane voice. This mine needs an enema. Eee! Nothing to do but enter the worksite. Aight. Enter the unlocked gate. That seems like a problem. Hey, don't worry. My family owns this mine. It's totally cool, everyone. Yes! I'm in. Alright, Morpheus, good to know. It's Solid Snake, you fucking pleb. Approach the nearest group of miners. Beeline to cousin. Absolutely not. I'm keen-eyed and street smart. I'm not that dumb. You approach the nearest group of miners. A blonde woman, a broad-shouldered man, and a long-haired older man. The uniforms identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Zax. You got a reason to be bothering us? Is that? Yeah, whatever. You got a reason to be bothering us? Wow, these are all really bold choices. Yeah, I'll start with Tabitha's cousin. Miners straighten up, suddenly very serious. Sorry, didn't know. I thought you were maybe one of them environmentalists, or... Yeah, sorry for any trouble. How can we help? Yeah, here we go. Establish cred. I'm on an arc. Yeah, right. Sure. You seen anything weird lately? Might just look you up and down. Weird how? People getting sick? Nope, nothing like that. You'll fit as an ox. We have good working conditions in the mine, and health is wholly looked after. Uh-huh. Hey, are we going to talk about black lung at all? I literally just listened to an entire medical episode about black lung. It's real bad. Weird noises coming from the woods. See, this person right here is the one I want to get to talking. Not a peep. Went around most of the day, though. You know, I heard something unusual the other night. Thought it might have been an owl or something, but it didn't sound right. It was an owl, you're just not used to the local wildlife yet. Oh, you knew? Weird animals? Nope. You're talking to that townie? The one the boss gave a lifetime ban to? Yeah, she's like a Bigfoot YouTuber or something. Her videos are actually pretty good. Find carbon particles in your lungs is bad. It's not so much they get them being in your lungs, it's that you can't get them out. That's the real problem. Uh-huh. You know, now that I think about it, it's pretty weird. I haven't been seeing many animals at all lately. Used to be all sorts of critters, now it's mostly birds. It's your first year up here, isn't it? It's just not used to the seasons changing. All the animals are hibernating, that's all. I don't know, she's got a point. Been up here 5 years now, it's never been like this before. Maybe it's the global warming then. They've been eaten by the big feets. Please, my father was the big feets. Please, call me Jerry. I think they're calling it climate change now. I'm not going to do the mines. That seems... no. Okay. Ask him about Wayne. I'm getting there. Yeah, Big's foot. Yes. Of the Appalachian Foots? Surely you've heard of us. Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. What? I'm talking about him in the past tense. I met him last night. Wait, what? No way. Isn't that the guy y'all said was, Well, I guess he ain't. And he hasn't even skipped town, huh? Pretty unexpected turn of events, if you ask me. What a relief. Thought something awful had happened to the poor guy. Go on. Just got here. What's all this then? Hey, kidder. This is Scarlet Hollow. It is a adventure game. Not so much point and click, just your more narrative-driven game. It is of the horror genre. It is written by Abby Howard and her partner, whose name unfortunately is not clicking in my brain right now. And it takes place in a place called Scarlet Hollow, which is a small coal town in the Appalachians, and there's monster shit going on. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So right now we're just visiting the coal mine, very conspicuously, in my personal opinion, asking questions. If you're at all interested, I have the part 1 of this was done a while back in March. You can find it on YouTube. I actually have 2 runs kind of going in parallel. One of which is the current one, and then another one where I can talk to animals. When do you choose who to date? Good question. There was a flirt option earlier on, which I decided not to go on with. So... What do you think? Some sort of cop? No! Yeah, I like the smell of this one bit. I know bait when I see it. Let's just get out of here. Shift's about to start anyways. Alright. Yeah, I don't think pressing that would have helped. When does Monica show up? Oh, God. Maybe it was just me, but they seem to think he was dead, right? Okay. Don't worry about the miners storming off like that. That's some pretty good info. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I couldn't have pressed them for more info if I'd wanted to. More miners. There's something lurking in the shadows. To my right, and against the better judgment, you turn to face it. Excuse me. As much as I love doing this voice, it gets a bit rough on my throat. And hey, since you watched my Doki Doki run, you'll recognize this voice.
You shouldn't be up here. It's dangerous.
Ghost. Your buddies seem to think you're dead.
Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. That's all I ask.
Huh. I didn't expect Wayne to be a good guy. Are you still there? We've just been getting static from you. Don't mind me. Our new friend just stopped by to say hello. Oh, I thought you were talking to someone down there. Are you okay? Don't we stay at the estate for the rest of the week? I wonder why. A good person. That'd be safe there. Why would he tell me that? What the hell's that supposed to mean? He must have been threatening you, right? The plot thickens. I'm not about to back down. Oh, so brave. Heck yeah, Corey, we got your back. No, talk to more miners. Good guy with the signal jammer, exactly. Hello, fellow teens. Hey guys, you don't know me, but let's talk about weird shit. Like what? Animals? Don't tend to go on many hikes, not exactly the nature scene type. After a full day of work, all I see is my bed, maybe a few beers in between. Weird noises? Heard something a few nights ago, like nothing I've ever heard, some unearthly beast. I'm telling you, Isaac, you need to take a sick day, you need rest, man. I've already taken a sick day this year, can't afford to take any more if I want to have Christmas off. Ooh, God, capitalism is a mistake. Okay. Tabitha. Can't be that bad here, right? It can. It's a coal mine. It fucking absolutely can. Yeah, health inspector or something? The boss will be looking at. The boss looks out for our health. Oh yeah. Okay. Tell me about Wayne. Do you mean Sam Wayne? Hey, there we go. We got a first cough, unionized cough. See, the cough is funny because of all the coal dust you see. What are you asking about him for? Wait, have you seen him? He's been following me. Oh, thank God. Everyone thought he was dead. Hold on. Creepy doesn't exactly sound like Wayne, does it? How did you know it was him? Name on his jacket, just like yours? So do our Jacks, but if I switch with Isaacs, that don't make me Isaacs. That's gotta be him. There's no way he's dead. You really think he's running around town creeping on strangers and ignoring his friends and coworkers? Seems more likely that somebody took care of him, so to speak, and is running around in his clothes. That's not possible. That's ridiculous. It's messed up. But who would do a thing like that? I don't know. Why don't you ask his girlfriend? Who's his girlfriend? Who's his girlfriend? Give me the deets. Just saying, he wasn't exactly the first fellow to fall for her charms. A lot of heartbreak in that woman's history. A lot of jilted ex-lovers, if you catch my drift. I told him not to get involved with her. I told him. Go on. Whoa, now, if you don't know, there's no way I'm poking that wasp's nest. Forget we said anything. God damn it. No, I press. Come on, don't dangle something like that. This doesn't want to cause any trouble. Enough people are losing their jobs as is. We got mouths to feed. Losing their jobs in Sam Wayne's case, disappearing. We've already said too much. Come on, boys! You can't help but get the feeling that Isaacs has more to say. Ah, yeah. Here's my digits, bud. Thanks for that. It was great to meet y'all. Reach towards Isaac and shake his hand, passing the note to his palm. Don't mention it. Hell yeah! We're so good at this! As up, the only group I see here is pretty close to the main office. It might be a little worth talking to, but I don't know if I can give you all that much heads up if Tabitha comes out. Do we press it? Do we press it? Surely Tabitha's gonna come out, right? If we press our press our luck. And if she does come out, how does that shake? I guess we could just lie to her. Like, if she does come out, how does that play? But I might get more... I don't know if I'm getting a lot more info. Everyone thinks Wayne died, but he's not. And he was dating some lady, and we'll probably get that info later. People heard weird sounds from the woods. Like, I'm just trying to think of what extra information we could get. We go to the last group of miners. On the flip side, having Tabitha be all pissy at us seems like fun content. Yeah, let's go. Let's try it. Brave, good luck. Nosy Nancy, uh-oh. Going around asking questions, huh? You don't look like you're from the inspector's office. Anything weird around here? All kinds of weird stuff happens in these hills. What sort of weird do you mean? Ooh. Animal sightings? Saw a raccoon with a big old tumor last week. Spooked me something awful. Tate, my man! You are the person we've been looking for. That's nature for you. Not always pretty. I'm just gonna leave that one. I don't need to press it. Alright. Noises? All the time. Howling, screaming, all sorts of fiendish caterwauling. Probably just screech owls or bobcats, you old coot. Might be. Might not be. But I heard something the other night that sent the fear of God shivering down my spine, I tell you what. I kind of want to click that one. I don't want to just go lean into hard ditchling. Don't want to lie. Yeah, fuck it. Pale heroes, horribly misshapen little twisted up faces. The two men stare at you, look at disquiet in their eyes. Ain't never heard anything like that up here. Damn, that almost sounds like a ditchling. Johnson, where have you been? My grandma used to tell me stories about them when I was a little kid. Guess not. Alright. You getting sick? I mean, some of the older miners, sure, but I wouldn't call that unusual. Alright. What about Sam? Oh, he got himself into trouble. Oh, sorry. I'm really enjoying Johnson as a character. He got himself into some trouble, didn't he? Why, you haven't seen him around? What's that young buck up to? How about nasty spat with the axe? You mean the boss? I knew it! I knew it. I didn't want to say, but I had a suspicion. I had a suspicion. Oh no. Indeed. That means someone tickles Tabitha. Still audibly gasps. Yeah, I figured he just ran off, lived in that big mansion with his bail. The thought of a strapping young man like him with that sour-faced broad always left such a bad taste in my mouth. Guys. Jesus. As if you wouldn't fall on your knees if a woman showed you the slight bit of interest in you. Or any woman at all. Fair enough. Jesus. But I suppose that begs the question. Did you run him off, or did some jealous son of a bitch out? Talk about Tabitha? Yep. Dang, I figured that's what they were getting at, but it was weird to hear it out loud. I don't need to know what you think of Tabitha. Cool. That was juicy info. That when he keeps bothering you, just let us know. We'll whip him to shape. Got a problem? Hi, Tabitha. What the hell are you doing here? Right on cue? It's almost as if we knew this was going to happen. Crap, good luck. That's our cue. Pardon us. You shouldn't be here. This place is dangerous. Why can't you just stay in the estate and stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? What's that ridiculous thing doing in your ears? Are you trying to record my employees? Are you trying to record me? Tabitha snatches the earbuds out of your ears and throws them to the ground. Okay. Tabitha? You need to fucking chill a little. Typical phone-addicted city dweller. Okay. Doesn't really give you the right to just snatch my shit, though. Just saying. And I have a meeting in 5 minutes. I can't even drive you back. Okay, look. I don't want you wandering around anywhere else. Just stay here for an hour. I can take you back to the estate as soon as the meeting wraps up. You please do that for me. Will we stick around? Will we stick around? Will we? Surely not. Yeah, how much weight are we putting into the I promise here? Because I don't want to do about Wayne. I don't want to hit Wayne right now. Sour-faced broad, wasn't it? Indeed. I'm not talking about any of the Wayne stuff right now. This seems like the worst possible time to do that. This seems like just starting a fight. This is not gonna fly. I'm not a narc. You know what? Fine, sure. What good is that at this point if you keep doing everything in your power to stress me out? Sorry I disappeared last night, Tabitha. I wouldn't dream of doing anything else to violate your boundaries. Oh, as opposed. What are you going to do next? Actually kill someone in town? I need to get to my meeting. Just stay here until I come get you and don't move a muscle. Okay. Just fucking bail. Yeah, I'm good. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. I think I just saw Rosalina. Wait, really? What's she doing here? She's doing a delinquency? I mean, yeah, but what kind of delinquency? Only one way to find out. Uh-oh. This seems like the worst place you should go. She didn't. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. The Shaw Mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. In here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Finally the first dungeon. Exactly. Have teens always been like this? I feel like I really missed out on my risk-taking years. Fuck. That hits closer to home than I'm comfortable with. I really did anything like this. Yeah, I would never. Okay, maybe I've poked my head in there a few times. Alright, well, let's fucking boogie. You sure you want to tag along, Neeks? Corin, I can handle this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. In we go! Refall, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. Nah, we're not a narc. We've established pretty thoroughly at this point that this character is not a narc. As long as it takes less than an hour, we're fine, right? Inside the mine is warmer than you'd expected. The air is thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and your companions to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. Jesus, it's cramped down here. Does anybody else just feel tight? Yeah, abandoned mines are way more claustrophobic than people expect them to be. And this one's real bad, you know, because of the child miners, or should I say the minor miners? Kanika visibly shudders. Okay, I'm not superstitious, but if there's one way to make sure you get haunted, it's cracking jokes about dead child laborers while walking on their graves. Well, what can I say? I do my best to tempt the spirits wherever I go. Okay. Yeah, that's part of my ghost hunting phase. Jesus, Stella, the things you do for your viewers. Did you find anything? I wish. If any place in Scarlet Hollow was actually haunted, it'd be this mine, hands down. All I got was dust in my lungs and a couple of false alarms. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. You shouldn't be breathing that! Stella pauses as sound rushes overhead. Oh my god, what is that? The mine's gonna collapse, we're all gonna die in here, aren't we? Stella sighs longingly. That's just how wind sounds down here. You sound so disappointed. Just brings back memories of my last foray into these depths. Every time I thought I'd finally found a spooky ghost, there wound up being a very unghostly explanation. Like local wildlife, for instance. Stella turns her flashlight up towards the alcove overhead. If there's one thing we should take away from the last year plus, that we should be wearing masks more often, it's true. Though, inside of a mine, you would want a full respirator setup, mask setup. Those guys got me real good last time I was here alone. Uh-huh. Oh my god, there are bats down here? I'm not gonna get rabies, aren't I? I'm gonna get rabies and die? Oh my god. Ooh, Kanika stopped mid-sentence by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. Okay. I have no idea what that was. Did that sound like knocking to you guys? Alright, we should just try and find Rosalina. Alright. Yeah, I wonder if those sounds are Tommy knockers. I like how she said the thing that we could have said. You know, Tommy knockers are not real. They're not allowed to be real. Are you trying to give me a panic attack? Okay. I'd love to spend some extra time poking around down here. Maybe it's got something to do with the mystery. You're interrupted by a second, much less distance out of a can being popped open. Alright. Onwards! Hey, teens. Oh, look, it's your brother. Bugs Bunny? I love that there's like a Bugs Bunny high Hot Topic fucking shirt. Oh my god. Brilliant. Brilliant. Hello, fellow teens. Strawberry Blast. Something, can't read it all, sadly. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. A group of teens turns and stares at you with annoyance. How do you do, fellow kids? Exactly. Is it fellow kids or fellow teens? I don't pay enough attention to that particular meme. I just know it when I see it. The hell are you all doing down here? The hell are you doing down here? You creeps? Are you stalking us? Is it fellow kids is the meme? Well, there's a way to find out. Hold on. Meme. Hello, fellow kids. It does seem to be fellow kids. Yep. There you go. Mystery solved. Yeah, creeps. I just said that, Alex. If you wanted to echo, I'd yell into a Grand Canyon. I mean, you're in a fucking cave structure. Oh, should I put her on blast? Ooh, I like the idea of putting her on blast. Ha! Yeah, I'm putting her on blast. I'm 15, you loser. Who even are you? That's Corey, Tabby's cousin. Rosaline, your dad's worried sick about you. If you ask me, he's right to worry. What the hell do you think hanging out in an old mine would be a good idea? Is the Maxwell place not dangerous enough? Ugh. Because no one usually comes in here, duh. Everyone knows we hang out at the Maxwell place now, so we had to find a new hideout. Which you instantly found, so I guess we'll have to find an even more secluded place where we can just be ourselves. Can't believe your dad sent people to follow you, Rosalina. That's messed up. I think it qualifies as harassment. Alright, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You can at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Do you kids have school tomorrow? It's fall break. Right. Routines. Oh my god. Well, he's still like, oh my god. Did you guys seriously sneak into abandoned coal mine to drink canned margaritas? Ugh, we're barely drinking. It's not even a big deal. Rosalina, you're 13. And I know the rest of you ain't much older. Oh, you're way router than I was at your age. I didn't even get a hold of that much booze. The teens avoid eye contact. Miles tries to melt into the cavern wall. Uh-huh. Oh no, I know it isn't you, Miles. It had better not be you. Yeah, whatever, it's me. What are you even doing here? Becca's right. Sounds like you're stalking and harassing and all that. You're supposed to be minding the store. It's not like anyone ever comes in on Tuesdays and Mom's there, so it's fine. Ooh, boy. Uh-oh. I hate teens. Teens hate themselves, so... It's not fine. It's extremely not fine. It is, in fact, incredibly irresponsible. Why do I always have to be the responsible one? Do you know what I would give to be as carefree as you? I left school so you could have a chance to live your life, and this is what you're doing with it? What would Dad think if he could see this, stealing booze from the family store to dick around in an abandoned mine? Dad's dad. I knew that was going to be the line. But here, he'd be disappointed you wound up being such a bossy jerk. Nothing ever happens in this town. Who cares if we're having canned margaritas somewhere nobody's supposed to bother us? Actually, I'm gonna use my street smarts to be like, hey, can we fucking chill? Yes, pass me one of those canned margaritas. Yeah, let's befriend the stupid teens. It's not actually that dangerous down here. My dad's a foreman at the continuous mining facility. He says the only abandoned mine because there wasn't enough coal left, so it's actually really safe. We can hang out here. Dad was a charge hand. No, Alexis. He got promoted last month. Becca's dad's right, though. Check how sturdy this place is. Ugh. The team with the beanie jumps up and slaps a strut on the ceiling. Okay. Margaritas come in cans now? Oh, yeah. Oh, you can... Oh, so many shitty alcoholic drinks are now canned for your convenience, Cutter. So many. They have, like, boozy root beer, boozy margaritas. I mean, you won't have the ice, but, like, it's still a margarita. What else? Boozy lemonade, White Claw, which is basically flavored seltzer water and vodka. There's all kinds. So many kinds. Well, that's what the knocking we were hearing earlier. One of these days I'll find a real-time knocker. Oh my god, Zane, cut it out. Jumping up and hitting stuff is extremely 8th grade. No offense, Rosalina. Untaken, the other creators are totally immature. Oh god. Teens! Like you, Rosalina, you're chill and smart too. This is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life. Why are you all fighting me on staying down here? I don't know, I kind of agree with Cora. We used to do dangerous stuff all the time, and I still do now. I don't like this particular situation, what with the whole ditchling thing. But outside of that, who are we going to tell them where they can hang out? I mean... ugh. Wow, the sad 20-somethings are fighting. What a surprise. Hey, I'm defending you, and I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? Running a clickbait YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. Says the person who obviously watches it. Anyways, Rosalina isn't going anywhere. She's better off here than at home. Yeah, tell him about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at her house. Why? They've got a hot plate and a couple cots in one of the back rooms. Okay. Rosalina deserves better. I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for that. He's a good guy and he cares about you. He would probably want you to leave this incredibly claustrophobic mine as soon as possible. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh. Wait, what? Such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore as lying to you to save face. What a coward. Fucking teens. Oh my god. That guy don't... Thank you, Zane. I think he'd like say that about other people's families. Isn't that like bullying or something? Shut up, Zane. Fuck you, Becca. 15-year-old emo-looking piece of shit. Sorry. Back up, he says it's haunted? I can't believe he didn't mention that to me. I could investigate. There's no ghost, Stella. It'd be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish we could be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it, like I'm still a little kid. You're 13. Nothing wrong with being a kid. Teens aren't kids, that's just a fact. She's really mature and smart for her age. She's practically an adult. Alexis, are you trying to convince Rosalina to have teen sex or something? What is this? Alexis, aren't you 14? That's still a kid too. None of you even have bank accounts. You're all kids. Rosalina's not that mature anyways. She still sleeps with stuffed animals. That doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop. Rest my case. I'm not saying anything here. If Rosalina's house is haunted, we should break in, like, ghost bust it or something. Oh my god, Zane, you can't ghost bust if there's no ghost. Rosalina lives there. She can't, like, break into her own house. There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we can figure out how to bust in if that's actually real. And if it isn't real, well, then problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a polo couch. Okay, why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There's no ghost. Okay, we're getting off track here. Uh-oh. The music ended. Shit's about to happen. Whether there's a ghost in Oscar's house is a question for another time when we're not in immediate danger. And to ruin everyone's fun, the answer is probably no, there's not a ghost. Now, I'm gonna drag my shithead brother back home and suggest you kids leave the empty mine before someone gets back on a black lung, or gets crushed by rocks, or meets any of the many terrible fates people tend to meet in the abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. What was it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises? It's Tommy knockers for sure. I know this is why they came down here, but we've got to check it out. I know, but weird stuff's been happening all around the past few days. What is our chance to get an actual solid lead? The stakes couldn't be higher. Okay, Shaggy, indeed. You have no sense of self-preservation? Zane, you fucking teen. Oh, are you kidding me? Tagging along with some olds? Some olds? Oh my god. Becca, you're so edgy. It jump scare by shadows and freak out each other? No. Get up, because I'm not doing it. Nobody's going deeper into the mine. Nobody's staying in the mine. We're all leaving, please, before my heart gives out. It'll be fun. It will not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You turn to see Becca and Alexis gone, and Rosalina anxiously hovering in front of a small tunnel in the cavern wall. She freezes as you notice her. Ugh. Don't go in the hole. I'm gonna head back. Yes. You weren't cool enough to hang out with us, Rosalina. Come on, Alexis, we'll have more fun without her. I hope something gets you, Becca. There are romanceable characters. Yes, they were added as a stretch goal. But I don't know who is and is not romanceable. I'm pretty sure Stella is, and I know, oh, what's his name? Their name, sorry. The person working at the diner. Avery? Avery. So far, those are ones I'm pretty sure are romanceable, but I don't know whom else qualifies. There's a goth GF girlfriend. I mean, that might be Kanika. So far, her style is probably closest to that. She's got a big bat belt. Kimmy, Rosalie, what were you thinking? What were they thinking? I don't know, I'm sorry. Oh, Kanika, maybe if you weren't so scared of the dark or whatever, you could have noticed them sneak off. I know some sneak off, and like, I've been zoning this whole time I've been here. Oh, hey, they must have squeezed through that child-sized hole. Yeah. Oh, no. Dang, I've always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there. Becca shouts to the end of the tunnel. We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here a million times. Yeah, if Becca says it's safe, then we're totally safe. Stop treating us like kids. Also, sorry, Rosalina. See you tomorrow. Just whatever. Come on, Alexis. I know a cool spot this way. Okay. I think we can catch up with them if we just follow their voices. Yes, take these teens to safety while we go into the hole. Like, I know I've made a bit of a fuss about not liking this place, but I'm not about to leave you two alone down here. What if something bad happens and I'm not here for it? Or, what if you run into something totally normal down there and you think it's a ghost and I miss out on the chance to figure out what it actually is? If I don't escort you three knuckleheads out of here myself, can we trust you actually leave and go home? Yeah, sure, I never could fit in that tunnel anyways. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. Okay, Zane. Zane's kind of cool. Zane is growing on me. Zane is a teen, but he seems laid back and not a complete fucking idiot. So Zane's okay. And Alexis, I think Alexis is just like a bullied toady girl, so she's probably actually fine. Becca sucks and Miles sucks. That's the call so far. Well, Costello promised me to ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever, I still have to do my dailies anyways, and the service down here sucks. Laid back equals the reefer? Sure. That's fine. Yeah, he's a 15-year-old pothead. They exist. Of the annoying like stereotypes here, he's way more manageable than the others. What about you, Rosalina? You don't want me to come along? Maybe I could help get Becca and Alexis to leave? I think your dad would kill me. Okay, can I at least wait outside? Sure! So remember how I was hoping we'd get out of here and we wouldn't get in trouble by my cousin? Well, we're gonna get in trouble by the cousin. What's the point of guy if they don't want to listen? I don't want to be stuck in an abandoned mine playing cat and mouse all night. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Their teenage bravado will probably start to shrivel away in not too long. We'll be there to help them safely and calmly find the nearest exit when that happens. Miles and Zane decided to leave as soon as the others three split. I'm sure Rosaline and the others are going to want to leave as soon as we find them, right? Ah, don't worry, guys. It'll be fun and safe. Uh-huh. Alright, let's go. You can get coffee at Winnie's once we're out of here. My treat. Ugh. Alright. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Becca, why are we doing this again? We can get so much trouble for this. We're doing this because I'm not allowed to, about to take life from a life advice from a YouTuber and a dropout. Ooh, that's uncalled for. I didn't drop out. Go back to vet school as soon as my family doesn't need me. I don't know, I think Cell's kind of cool. I think that River Runner video, I like that River Runner video a lot. Oh, come on, she doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of a YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? Okay, Becca sucks, but that part's not wrong. Going back to the whole discussion about getting houses as YouTubers. Yeah, but I'm in the talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty of from ads and donations. That's a big deal. Thank you. I feel a really big step for the channel. You alright, Kanika? Yeah, it's fine. I just can't believe we have to deal with that Becca girl slandering us while we're sticking our necks out for her. God, I hate her. Meat Rice? Yeah, you know. Meat Rice. Yeah. I mean, it's either meat made of rice or rice made of meat. Right? Or maybe a meat-rice mashup. Normally say she just skip, but wow, if she doesn't have an uncanny ability to go right for the jugular. She's a 15-year-old goth teen. Yeah. Let's go. Another knock closer interrupts your thoughts, followed by another, followed by another. Oh my god, the teen's right. I did just get some jump scared. Is it just me or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? Uh-huh. Really don't like that knocking. Alright, it's just, just mind things. Do you see that? Why are we still down here, Becca? No, it's just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. Becca, I swear I saw something. My keen eyes didn't see anything, so, you know. I'm sure the tunnel went through is going to meet back up with us. What did they see? What if they're the ones trying to support kids? You come down to bed. Yeah. You guys do this, but you get grounded when all this is done. What did they see? Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers are real, but there's a reason people think they made those sounds. It's not coincidence that the whole Tommyknocker myth is tied to mine collapses. I mean, that's fair. Alright, let's just move. As you progress deeper into the mines, the knocking grows more frequent. Still distant, but much louder than before. Oh, God. Yay! Extremely old ladder. This is plenty fun. I bet you're only saying this because you want to hang with our dorky crush. She's just an 8th grader. Okay, this isn't about Rosalie. I know you can hear that knocking. Well, it sort of sounds like they're down there, alright. You want to head up there, Neeks? The climb looks nasty. I'm not going to argue with that. The ladder looks older than all of us combined. Alright. Alright, Kanika stays up here. So hoists herself over the edge and begins to climb down. Stay safe. Okay. Back to the pit. Hi, teens. Great, the adults are here. Thanks, Alex. It's real nice. Becca, has need to feel like you're better than other people so important that you think it's worth being buried alive over? Or, do you have an actual death wish because I see this place starting to collapse? Or, Becca, what are you doing? Or, Alexis, you're so much braver than you think you are. You don't need to let Becca kick you around. Ooh. Ooh, let's destroy a friendship. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I like how these are all keen eye options. Yeah, quite frankly, Becca can go get fucked. Excuse you? You fucking heard me, Becca. No, excuse you, Becca. I don't want to be down here. I don't want to hang out with you. Just want to leave, and I'm going to do that right now. Whatever. This isn't fun anymore. Fine, we'll leave. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! To hell with you, Becca! As Becca and Alexis move towards the ladder, the black chamber before you draws your focus. Alright. What's in the hole? This hole was made for me! The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. You find yourself stepping towards the black chamber before you, compelled by some unnatural force. Hey, yeah, are you staring into the abyss? It seems the abyss is staring back into us. You right there, Corey? Uh-oh, the music ended. Oh no, there it says there. Marrakesha, is that you? Hey. Are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. Looked like you had a seizure or something and then you just conked out. Thank God. Okay, don't move muscle. I don't want you to strain yourself. You're still recovering from whatever that was. Don't die. Please don't leave me in the hole. Please don't leave me in the hole. I don't wish to be left in the hole. You fade out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. This seems bad. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. You can't help but notice that the timber struts around you trembling as if they were being struck by invisible blows with each knock. They're all that stand between you and the many tons of rock over your head, and they suddenly feel terribly fragile. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. It's time to get out of here. Yep. Getting the hell out of Dodge. You push your body to move quickly as you can, though you're slowed down in cramped corridors and the winding passageways of the mine. The knocking is deafening now, as if someone were trying to break through the walls with fists of iron. Okay. You continue to push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. Then comes the sound of splintering wood. You pick up the pace. The entrance is close, so close. And there it is. Freedom! You manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. Pro babysitter, I love that achievement. Holy shit, you're okay, thank God. And everyone's accounted for. Aw, man, we could have totally left those teens down there to die. We did a good job. We did it, everyone. We saved the shitty teens. That was a surprisingly close call. Yeah. We all could have died in there. What did you weirdos do? Everything was fine until you adults showed up. Thank you, Alexis. Becca, shut your fucking mouth. What did you just say to me? I said, shut your fucking mouth. I told you, shut up. I'm sick of your two-faced bullshit. I didn't almost get us killed down there. You did. And now you're trying to pass it off to whoever else you can. It's just the cherry on top of this whole shit show of a friendship. I'm really not in a good headspace for this conversation. I could have died in there. Why are you doing this to me? Wow, Becca, maximum toxic. No, enough. No playing the victim this time. Being friends with Rosalie has made me realize how horrible you are to me. Friends aren't supposed to be mean to each other. Friends shouldn't be scared of each other. I never wanted to go into that stupid mine. It was your idea. We could have died. If these grown-ups hadn't shown up, we could have been buried alive in this stupid tunnel drinking stupid strawberry margaritas in a can. Screw all of you! Yeah, get fucked, Becca. Should we go after her? No. Let's put her back in the mine. I feel good, Alexis, fine telling her off. Yeah. She's gonna be so mad at me. She probably won't talk to me for a week, maybe a month. Maybe the rest of your life. We can only hope, Alexis. It's okay, Alexis. We don't need her. What do we do now? Now I drive you two home. I'll text your parents. I'm sure they're worried sick about you. Yeah, that's for the best. Yeah, Alexis, you just fucking leveled up. Becca seems toxic as hell. You don't need that shit in your life. I came as soon as I heard the crash. What the hell were you doing in there? I thought I gave you some very specific instructions, Corey. Stay out of the place while I finish my meeting. Oh boy, Tabitha, you just wait. You had teens sneaking in your mind. What would have happened if they died? I was gone for like an hour. Here you are at the site of a mine collapse. It's not Corey's fault. Stell's right. If anyone's fault, it's yours. You have an abandoned mine on your property that was barely even boarded up. It was only a matter of time until something like this happened. You're lucky no one got hurt. Yeah, nice rhyme. Unintentional, but I am very happy with it. How dare you? It's not like I put up a big neon sign saying cool place for teens to hang. It's clearly not safe. Alright. Ooh. So she knew teens were hanging there? It does kind of read like that, doesn't it? Why are we pointing fingers? Seems like a good option. Like, just calling Tabitha another coal baron is a great way to get her real pissed. Nobody got hurt. Also seems like an option. But that seems like we're to blame. Telling Tabitha to calm down. Like, we're probably the reason nobody got hurt. Might be okay. It's kind of putting her in her place a little bit. I don't know. Do I want to be a little shitty? Or... Actually, no, you know what? We're going to be a little shitty. Probably the reason nobody got hurt. Fine, you're right. At least nobody died, probably. What a heartfelt apology. Come on, guys. What's the point of arguing like this? I know it can feel cathartic to point fingers and yell, but what's it going to accomplish other than bruised egos? Everyone's fine. I'm going to be honest. I think Tabitha needs, like, a little bit of a bruising. You're right. I'm going to get my car, and then we're going back to the estate. Okay? Okay. Sure left him dodged the bullet, huh? Thank God you noticed them sneaking off. You were incredible down in the pit, too. Okay. Ditchlings? Do you think it's over? I say that's grim, but at least no one got hurt. Maybe you're right. Maybe we averted the disaster of the Ditchlings were here to foretell. But I feel like what happened in the mine raised more questions than it answered. We still don't know anything about Wayne or about what you actually saw down there. This is all still a little too magic for me. Just because two bad things happen doesn't mean it's the pattern, right? Let's talk about what I saw. There's a stone carving on the wall of that pit. It gave me some sort of vision. I saw what happened to the place. Sure, it just wasn't auto suggestion. We talked about that at the mine a lot today. I don't know, Neeks. Corey had like a seizure. Next to the creepy stone carving, it was like something out of a movie. Just because he passed out or has a seizure doesn't mean it wasn't auto suggestion. Okay. These are all good. I hope I get to say all of these. I felt one of these two. This one seems a lot more matter of fact, but I also like the idea of people not being able to see them. Everything that happened down there is centered around the main chamber, where I saw the carving. Nah, not Tommyknockers. What happens if you don't have keen eyes? I don't know. That's actually a very good point. What if you don't have keen eyes? I guess I wouldn't have seen the teens, and I guess we might not have gone into the mine at all, actually. That's a very interesting point. I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. I saw something down there, like the shadows of dead miners. Yeah. Right behind Stella just before you all left. Did you guys not see them? Oh, I didn't see anything there other than the carving. That's super weird. I don't want to doubt what your experience. I couldn't see anything down that pit, but you might have just been primed to see those things. Alright. You know, now that I think about it, that totally fits the profile for some of the Tommyknocker stories. What if they're actual bona fide ghosts? Oh, good. I get to see that thing. Good. Everything that happened down there centered around the main chamber, where I saw the carving. Stella showed me a photo. Weird stuff. Maybe you were entirely off base about that cult stuff you mentioned earlier today, but this thing felt old. Sure those are Tommyknockers? Depends what you mean by sure. Is anyone really sure of anything? They fit the description pretty well, and I don't know what else they'd be. I have no idea what happened there. I need to do some reading on mind collapses, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this seems like just a bad option. I don't think I need to alienate everyone. Okay, what happens now? Looks like Tabitha's back. I better drive these kids home. Come on, time to go. Okay. I'd really rather you didn't. If you're gonna run around almost getting killed every night, keep my cousin out of it. Your cousin's an adult, Tabitha. He can make his own decisions. Oh, so I guess I am a he. Always under my roof. Tabitha. Calm yourself. As if to illustrate her point, Tabitha grabs your arm, dragging you towards the car. See you tomorrow. You can practically feel Tabitha roll her eyes as she drags you to the car. Good. Oh, she's not a happy camper. Tabitha doesn't say words. The car cuts along the darkened road. You try and keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what might lurk behind the tree line. You know, yeah, why do you treat Stella like that? I don't want to talk about Stella, and it's none of your business anyways. Okay. How you holding up? I don't think you want me to answer that question. I mean, if I didn't ask. You and Kanika don't seem to get along. She pushes my buttons. I'll just drop that one. I'm not apologizing for today. This just seems extra shitty. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Her eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha slink back into silence. Like, those other two options just seem like asking for it. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be. I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Just talk to me, please. There's no point. At the end of the week, you'll go home. We'll never speak to each other again. We'll just have to get through this week. We can have a deeper relationship than that. It doesn't have to end with this week. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Well, I tried. Her posture defeated. Well, a moral victory then. You head up to your room to turn in. Is Wayne gonna be in our fucking room? Is Wayne gonna, like, open the goddamn door? Be like, I told you to stay out of the mine. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed and your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all? These are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again, too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. What the fuck? These things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. I guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point, you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from the evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes as you stare down with dread at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread bawling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, you see the shadowy figures that gather behind Stella in the mines. Your thoughts are drawn to the carving on the wall and to the visions it imparted upon you. Your eyes shoot open. Uh-oh. Heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. Okay, let's all remember that line for later. So this is the end of the living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. The cat will protect us. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's going to be the end of chapter 2. It's just a cat. That's all it was. Just a cat. Mm-hmm. Did someone get cast in our house? In our estate? Ugh. Stealing your grandma's credit card. I have to look at some of these achievements. This is the end of episode 2. Episode 3 is currently slated for late 2021 or early 2022. We'll be sure to update you once we have a firmer release date. If you'd like to continue this world state in episode 3, please save your game now. Okay. That's fine. Hey, but that's okay, because I plan on doing another run. I have to update this one with the other choices. But I am planning to do another, like, chapter 2 with my mystical animal speaker. And I'm actually thinking of doing a third run where I am... what the hell is the other one called? There's, like, a powerful and hot build that I think would be a lot of fun. So yeah. Let's just save that. There we go. Tony Howard Arias. There we go. Good job, testers. Special thanks to all those people. Aw, and to me, the player. Aww. All right. There we go. Yeah, so that's one of the other things I really like about these games. The installments seem to take about 2.5 hours. Ish. Which is nice. Now, I just want to take a real quick gander at some of those achievements that I just got, because they just seem fun. Let's see. So, stop Rosalina from slipping off into the mines. That was pro babysitter. Ride with Kanika. Talk to all 3 groups of miners. There was an achievement for that. Go after Rosalina without telling Tabitha what's going on. Get coffee with Avery. Tell Avery the truth. Lie to Avery. And visit general store without stealing anything. It's a good time for an episode. Yeah, my first game crew was Spec Ops. They appreciate my contributions. Oh, that's neat. I don't think I'm in any games. I've kickstarted a couple, but I never pay enough to actually get into the credits, and that's fine. The Boy Who Cried Nice House. I love that. Yeah, so that was that. That wasn't nearly as spooky. Oh, that was a joke? Oh. Okay. Well, sorry. Did not catch that. Yeah, so I will probably revisit this. Yeah, probably next week. Oh, curse the player because it's all your fault. Ah, fun. Thank you so much for playing in my game. Yeah, I'll probably actually do this again next week, but with the other build, just to see how things change, because obviously, like, a lot of that happened because I was keen-eyed, so I probably don't get to go into the mines, with my other powers. So that's interesting. So I guess, yeah, we'll have to do that next week, and I've got some homework to do because I have to rewrite history. There's probably other ways. I mean, sure, my mystical ability might cause something to happen. I think when I do my powerful hot build, I'm gonna play that one real straight-laced with Tabitha. Like, definitely call her. Let's just go straight to Tabitha. Just for fun, but yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the game is different with my mystical animal talkie kind of setup. So, but yeah, that is going to do it for me tonight. Yeah, I got nothing else. I'll be back tomorrow with more indie games. I don't know what I'm going to be playing, but, you know, something. And yeah, that's going to do it. So, as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, wear your goddamn mask, schedule your vaccinations if you can, and I will see you later.